So we have to talk about the coming market crash because some people are telling us that the stock market is gonna go to zero. Now, some of those people also believe that the stock market is just a place where rich people go to make money, appear and disappear like magic. And some people believe that stocks are just a place where money can magically double, and some people think the market is a scam and it's all one giant casino designed to get your money, which also happens to be fake. Either way, magic tricks are fun and you should smash the like button. But just like a casino, people are starting to take bets over what's about to happen next in the market. And one of the people the media is starting to talk about right now is Michael Burry, who you might remember from 2008.
The whole housing market is propped up on these bad loans. They will fail.
The housing market is rock solid.
It's a time bomb.
That was from a movie called The Big Short, where actor Christian Bale portrayed Michael Burry's bet against the housing market. And at the time, people called him crazy. They said that the housing market was the safest investment anyone could ever make. He was so confident that he bought $8.4 billion worth of credit default swaps to bet against the housing market. And now the world is waking up to his latest bet against the stock market. And you might have seen these headlines from organizations like Yahoo and CNN, which are saying that Michael Burry just bet $1.6 billion against the stock market.
Well, this time around, Burry has bought $1.6 billion worth of financial instruments called options that would allow him to profit from a stock market fall, according to a filing made with US regulators.
Except all of that is completely wrong. And it's wrong because of something called 13F. 13F filings are a quarterly report card. It's a requirement by the SEC for anyone that manages over $100 million to disclose no more than 45 days at the end of each quarter to show us all of their investments. And since Michael Burry manages over $100 million, he's required to as well. And in Mr. Burry's most recent filing, it showed that most of his clients' money was now seemingly invested in betting against the stock market to the tune of $1.6 billion. And to the average person who doesn't watch these nerdy YouTube videos, who just watches the news and sees the headlines and doesn't check their portfolio every single day, they put the two and two together. The guy who successfully predicted the 2008 housing crisis is now heavily betting against the stock market. Combine them together and you can get something extremely dangerous. So in today's video, I want to correct the headlines and show you what's actually happening so that you don't panic and sell your stocks. So let's get into it. Hi, my name is Andrei Jikh. Hope you're doing well. Come for the finance and stay for one of the biggest bets against the stock market. Now, first, a quick disclaimer. I am not suggesting that you should not sell your stocks or you should buy more stocks because I don't know your situation. And it depends on your age, your goal, whether you're trying to invest and grow your money or preserve your money. No one can predict the stock market. But the point is, this $1.6 billion bet sure does sound like Michael Burry knows something everyone else doesn't. But here's why everyone is so confused. A 13F filing requires these institutions to tell us not just their stock holdings, but also their call and put options, which remember are just contracts. Now here's an example of a call option. Let's say that you and a friend go to Toys R Us and you find a toy that you really want to buy, like this Moogle toy, and it costs $10, but you only have $1 in your pocket. So your friend feels really bad for you and they offer you a deal. They tell you that they will buy the toy for you and they will hold it for exactly 1 week, and in exchange, they want the dollar that's in your pocket. Why this is great is because if next week Toys R Us decides to double the price of this toy to $20, you could still buy it for that original $10 price and you'll have made a $10 profit. But if this toy drops in price and Toys R Us starts to charge $5, you don't have to buy the toy back from your friend at all. But in exchange, your friend gets to keep the dollar that you gave them. Now, in technical stock terminology, that $1 is called the premium. So that's really a call option. It's just an easy way to bet on something going up in price for cheaper. Now, here's what a put option is using that same analogy. This is what Michael Burry did. Imagine you bought the Moogle toy for $10, but you're worried that next week it's gonna go down in price and you think that you're not gonna be able to sell it for the full price that you paid for it. So your friend offers you another deal. They tell you, for the $1 that's in your pocket, they promise to buy the Moogle from you for the full price of $10, regardless of what Toys R Us is charging next week. So you take the deal. Now, if the price of the Moogle goes down in value to $5 like you thought it would, in that case, your friend has to buy the toy from you and you just made some money. But if the price stays the same or it goes up, you actually don't have to sell the toy to your friend, but they keep that $1 that you gave them, which remember is the premium. That is essentially a put option. It's just an easy way or a cheaper way to bet on something going down in price. Calls and puts explained like I'm 5. Now sometimes I get these two confused, so a really cool way to remember this that's helped me is to think of a phone. Whenever you think of a phone, you put a phone down and you call up a friend. So a put is a bet on the market going down because you put the phone down, and a call is a bet on the market going up because you call up a friend. Now, in the real stock market, there is one big difference because whenever we refer to a contract, it doesn't represent just one share or one Moogle, it represents 100 of them. So one options contract is 100 shares, and 10 options contracts is 1,000 shares. So in practical terms, what that actually means is if you want to get into making these bets and collecting these dollars from people's pockets, the premiums, you will have to have at least 100 of a share to be able to do it. If you have less than that, you won't be able to. But for every 100 you have of a stock, you can write one options contract. Now back to the Michael Burry bet though. Here's where the media got it wrong. When they looked at Michael Burry's new 13F filings, they found two things, specifically two put options. Remember, you put the phone down, which is how you know he's betting on that something going down. And the two things he's betting on going down are SPY and QQQ. And SPY, remember, is a mutual fund. One stock, one ETF that represents something called the S&P 500, the top 500 companies in the US, which people call the stock market. And the other one was QQQ, which is also an ETF that represents the high-flying tech sector. And that filing showed 2 million shares of each, which on the surface looks as though it totaled roughly 93.5% of his entire portfolio. So it seems like Michael Burry just put the majority of all of his clients' money into betting against the top 500 companies in the US and the tech sector. So if it shows these numbers, which add up to effectively $1.6 billion, why is that number wrong and how is it not accurate? It's wrong because here's what actually happened. The media mixed up something called notional value and actual value. Actual value represents the actual amount of money that Michael Burry paid for his options contract, and notional value represents the hypothetical value of all the stocks inside of said contract. I know it sounds way confusing, so let's go back to the trusty Moogle example here. Remember, in a put options contract, my friend and I made a deal that if this Moogle goes down in price, they would have to buy it from me for $10, and in exchange, I gave them that $1 premium. Now in the real world, one contract doesn't mean one Moogle. It represents 100 Moogles. So if I was to report a 13F filing, I wouldn't just report one. I would have to report one of them, which the value is $10, times 100 of them, which is $1,000. So the notional value of the contract between my friend and I is $1,000, even though the actual value is nowhere near that. It's a lot less. That's notional versus actual value. But the whole point is this. Michael Burry's real bet against the stock market right now is probably closer to maybe 1 to 2% of his entire stock portfolio, which cost him maybe a couple $1 million to make as an insurance, a hedge against the stock market going down, not $1.6 billion going all in on betting against the stock market like we're told. Now, whether or not the stock market crash that Michael Burry is betting on will happen, I think it's important to recognize that in times of high risk, that's where the real opportunities could be, and that's why I want to quickly mention the sponsor of this segment, Moomoo. Whether you find yourself at the beginning of your learning journey or you're a veteran trader that's seeking more insights, Moomoo has all the essential tools to help your growth in the stock market. And right now, Moomoo's giving away up to 16 free stocks. Born in Silicon Valley and fortified by a NASDAQ-listed fintech giant, Moomoo boasts a global user base of over 20 million people. The app is now available for users in the United States, Singapore, Australia, and Canada. And right now, Moomoo's offering free courses that will teach you all about investing. That's right, it's 100% free. All you have to do is click on the Discover tab in the bottom right-hand corner, click on Learn, and here you'll find a wealth of useful videos and articles that will teach you everything you need to know about trading and investing. And once you complete the tasks and watch the videos, you can even earn points and then redeem them by by clicking in the Me tab in the bottom right-hand corner of the app, clicking Task Center, and here you can find a bunch of awesome swag like their figurines, neck pillows, and a couple other goodies. And if you want to take it up a notch, with its free paper trading, you can learn how to trade for free without any financial risk, and you'll still have access to real-time market data, tools, and indicators all at your fingertips. And the way to access this is just click on the Discover tab in the bottom right-hand corner, and then click Paper Trade, and it's the perfect way to learn the ropes and refine your strategy. And Moon is also currently offering a fantastic summer deal for US users. By meeting the deposit requirement, new users can receive a $50 cash reward and up to 16 free stocks, all of which are full shares. And among those shares, there's a chance to even get a free Tesla or Google stock. Now, for Australian users, you could potentially get up to 15 free stocks if you sign up and meet the deposit and minimum balance requirements. For terms and conditions and all the details, the link is down below. Thank you, Moomoo, for sponsoring this segment of the video, and now let's get back to it. But let's say everyone has this wrong and Michael Burry really does believe the stock market is about to collapse. The question is it worth following in his footsteps and doing the exact same thing? Because after all, he did successfully predict the 2008 housing crisis and made billions. In fact, over the last 10 years, his portfolio returned 320%, which is insanely good. So Michael Burry knows exactly what he's doing, but he hasn't always been right. Someone on Twitter actually made a pretty long list of all the predictions that Mr. Burry made, and most of them turned out to be completely wrong. The most famous of which is, of course, he accurately predicted the 2008 housing crisis, and that was a prediction he made way back in 2005. But in 2015, he predicted the stock market would crash in the next few months, and it went up 11% in the next 12 months instead. Then in 2017, he predicted a global financial meltdown, but the stock market went up 19% 12 months later. And in September 2019, he predicted the index fund bubble, which turned out to be wrong, and the market went up 19% a year later. Then, right at the start of the pandemic, he warned of a massive crash, but a year later, the S&P 500 had a huge run of 72%. And in February of 2021, he issued another warning of a stock bubble, but the market went up 16% a year later. Then in September 2022, he said the bottom was not in yet and that stocks would go even lower, but instead stocks went up 21% 11 months later. And in January 2023, he tweeted, "Sell," due to fears of a recession and more inflation, but stocks went up 17% and technically 15% if you're looking at this week. And in August 2023, he's betting against the stock market and the tech sector, and maybe this time will be different and he'll be 100% right. But my point is this: most people will remember all the accurate predictions that ended up becoming true and none of the ones that failed. And the more predictions a person makes, the higher the odds of their success. Like right now, I think the stock market will go up. But what does that even mean? Like, how much do stocks have to go up by for me to be right? And how much do stocks have to fall by for me to be considered wrong? And how long does my prediction last? What's the time frame? Because if it's forever, all predictions will eventually be true. So take all that with a grain of salt, because no one knows what's going to happen to the stock market. Pay attention to it, stick with it. Personally, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average into it. But as always, focus on your own investment journey. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to grab your free stocks, links are down below, and then go track them automatically with a spreadsheet link down below in my Patreon. Love you. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to see you back here on Monday and Friday, sometimes a Wednesday. See you soon. Bye-bye.